Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So the last video in Power BI series, so we have covered as mainly date and time tools. So in date and time tools, we covered as mainly age, date only, year, month, quarter, week, day. So these are all covered in the last video. And we have covered as one more topic, that is the rolling calendar. On demand, we had to create with the rolling calendar table also covered. So in this series, today's video, we had to cover as mainly index columns and the conditional columns, grouping and aggregating, and pivoting and unpivoting. So mainly we'll cover as these concepts for today's one. So first of all, we'll look into the index columns. So generally, index is mainly to create the sequential number. So why we had to create the sequential number called as its performance wise, it is easy to load the data. Mainly, index columns is contain a list of sequential values that can be used to identify each unique row in a table. So unique row, that is unique row called as the unique number is to be created by using index column, like typically starting from 0 or 1. So that option is, it will ask us the options from the Power BI. So it will start as from 0 or it will start as 1. Okay. So these are often used to create unique IDs that can be used to form relationships between tables. So more on that later. Okay. So we'll see that how we'll create the index columns and so on. So options. Okay. So first we have to, for this index columns, I will load the data for index and conditional columns. I will use the data, sales data I will use. So let's load this data CSV file, sales data 2022, open. So once the data is to be opened, AdventureWorks sales data 2022.csv. So this is the data, order date, stock date, order number, product key, customer key, this one. So just click on OK. So it will load the data. So once the data is to be loaded, we have the option called as the index column. So if you look into this index column, just click on the home. So this index column is so. So for this index column, mainly we'll cover as so. So after loading the sales data 2022, I'll go with the add column. So in this add column, I have the option called as the index column, this one. So this index column, so click on these options. So from 0, from 1, custom. So if I just click on the index column, by default, it will create as the index column from 1 onwards. Okay. If you want to, from 0 or from 1, custom also. So I'll just create with index column here. So the index column is creating from 0 onwards by default. Okay. Not 1. So index is creating as 0, 1, 2 up to. So this is the column profiling based on top 1000 rows. So the default row is to be creating as like this way. Okay. If you keep on going on, the index column like serial number, sequential number is to be created. So this one will move to right from the beginning. Move to beginning. So the index column is to be goes to starting. Okay. So this is the one way we had to create this index. Okay. For example, if I remove this index, this reordered columns, okay. So what happened? So is the index is deleting or not? No. So I remove the index, but if you check with the ending part, the index is there because of the another step is called as the added index is there. Okay. So so this is the added index. I will remove this added index also. Now I'll go with the conditional column. So this is index column is this is only. So just we'll create as a sequential steps index. So mainly index columns is to contain a list of sequential values. Next one. So we'll see the conditional column. So this conditional column is mainly like if condition, if else if. Okay. Let's see. So I'll go with conditional column. So after this sales data, I'll click on with add column. So in add column before only below conditional column is available. So select the conditional column. So it will redirect to the another window that is conditional column. So add the conditional column. So first we'll give as the new column name. So this column name I will give as the quantity type. Okay. Then if you see here, if column name, operator, value, and output. So if condition is so, if I'll write the condition like if order quantity equals 1, then it is a single item. Okay. So if order quantity equals 1 single item, then we'll add the clauses here. So this add clause called as the else if condition. So this add clause we had to add continuously. So how many number of conditions we want, that many conditions we had to add. If I click on add clause, see here else if. So else if order quantity is greater than 1, then it is the multiple items. Okay. So then it is multiple items. So else part also is needed. So if these two conditions are not working, else it will go as other part. Okay. So if order quantity equals 1, then it is a single item. Else if order quantity is greater than 1, then multiple items, else other. And click OK. Then close and apply. File, close and apply. So this is the simple way we'll use with the index column and calculated conditional column. Okay. So after changes, that changes are saving. Right. Now we'll look into the other concept called as the grouping and aggregating. So this grouping and aggregating called as mainly how we can apply with this grouping and aggregating. If you look into this, go to transform data. Okay, so this is the transform data, right? So if you click on transform, if you observe the group by, the first starting that one is the group by is available. So this part as the group by. So this group by is mainly how it is working in the group by. So we know in SQL how it is group by working. So similar looks like here also group by same. So group by allows you to aggregate the data at a different level or grain. So different level we can aggregate the data, that is group daily records into monthly, aggregate the transactions by store, etc. So these group by will apply. For example, we'll apply the group by called as so by using product key. So product based on product key, we want sum of total quantity. Okay, like that we can apply with the this group by or grouping. We can say like grouping and aggregating. So let's look into this one for sales data. This one, I'll rename the sales data Adventure Works sales data 2022, the product. So now I'll go with for this sales data 2022, go with product key. Yeah. So here, if you observe here, the product key, I will do one thing. Sort ascending. See here, how many number of 214, 214. So this all we can give sum of to transform the data based on this product key, the total quantity. Okay. So if you look into here, if I select with load more, so these are all the unique records 214, 215, 220 like. But if you look into this transform data 214, how many records are there? Okay. So this we can apply with the by using group by. Okay. So now we can select with product key and to transform this data. So transform and apply the group by. So we are doing the group by. So select with group by. So once we have select with the group by, here we have the options called as two. One is the basic and advanced. So this basic and advanced, the difference is mainly we can say like so basic is by default we have to select as one column. That is if you look into this screen, specify the column to group by and the desired output. So basic called as only one column we can apply product key. If I select with advanced, add grouping. So multiple columns we have to apply with the group by. So group by. So product key is the column we are applying and new column. So this new column I'll consider as this for example total quantity. Okay. So this operation called as mainly will select as sum. Okay, and column. So which column we want to apply this sum order quantity. So this order quantity called as we can apply as the sum. That is the total quantity will column create. So here how many columns to create after applying the group by? One is the product key, and we'll get the total quantity result. So click on OK. Now you can observe with the data. So each and every unique record is we are getting with the sum. If I apply with sort ascending, see here. Previous 214 record, many records are available. Now we are getting only one record, that is unique records 214. We are getting the sum of order quantity is 1218, 215, 1074 like this. Okay. Now I'll remove these steps and again go back. Okay. Now I will look into by using group by, we'll look into advanced operation. So this advanced operation called as mainly, again we'll go to transform and group by, select the advanced. So here I will select as the product key. First column I will select as product key. Next I will apply with the grouping on based on customer key. Okay. So product key and customer key I'll apply, and column name I'll create as this total quantity, and operation is sum. So here we'll select as the column order quantity. So once I click on the OK, here how many columns we want to get? Here in advanced operation, we are getting 3 columns. One is the product key, customer key based on group by, and aggregate operation as the order quantity as sum. That is the total quantity column will create. Okay. See here, product key, customer key, and total quantity. If I select with this as ascending, see here 214. How many records are these? But here customer key unique records are available. If I select this ascending, now see 214, this one, these many unique records. Okay. So this is called as the grouping and aggregating. So I will remove these steps. Right now I'm not applying this all the operations. Next we'll move to pivoting and unpivoting. So pivoting called as mainly we can say like pivoting simply row values into columns. Unpivoting like columns to rows. So simply we can discuss about with pivoting is, pivoting describes the process of turning distinct row values into columns, and unpivoting describes the process of turning distinct columns into rows. So for example, we'll consider as uh, pivot. So for example, I have this column called as month. So month is like Jan, Feb, March. So this data is available. And I have other column called as the like sales. So sales is 100, 200, and 300. So this I can apply with the pivot. So whenever I can apply with this data as pivot, so the data is moving to like Jan, Feb, March. So this way the data will display. So like we can say like pivot called as mainly vertical to horizontal, and unpivoting is again back to reverse. So from horizontal to vertical. So now here in this scenario, January sales 100, February is 200, March is 300. So this way we can transpose the data. So like for example, imagine this table on a pivoting rotates. So this pivoting, it rotates from vertical to horizontal, and unpivoting rotates it from horizontal to vertical. So this is the simple example we'll explain as the pivoting and unpivoting. So for this, I will go with this example. Um, okay. So here for this, I will load another table like product category sales for this new source CSV file. I'll go with product category sales. So yeah, product category sales unpivot demo. I'm loading this data. Okay. So here, if you look into this data, product category sales, I have the date, product category, North region, Central region, and South region is available. Now I will select as this regions part. Now, for example, I want to this apply with unpivot. So for this North region, Central region, South region will split to unpivot. Okay. Now I'll select as North region, North, Central, and South region. I have selected 3 columns. So for this, after selecting these 3 columns, go with transform. Here, if you observe with the unpivot, uh, this unpivot is so unpivoting is mainly so after selecting this transform tab, uh, here we have to identify the unpivot columns. So something the option is not showing here. I'll redirect. Yeah. So here this one. So unpivot column is so here actually previous version it will show as directly unpivot column. So now the symbol is to be showing here. So if you select with this option, unpivot columns, unpivot other columns, unpivot only selected columns. Now I will go with unpivot columns. So once you select with unpivot, what happened? The unpivot is horizontal to vertical is to be converted. So all the values is to be converted to this one. So now I will rename this attribute to region. Okay, and this value called as the quantity sold. Okay, so this is the unpivot. So region, if you look into the around north region, so quantity sold, central region, south region. For this bulks, in this particular date and bikes, these 3 regions will show. Okay, and similarly, the same date components, so same date clothing, same date accessories. So each and every region wise, the data is to be showing. Like it will transform the data from horizontal to vertical. Now again, we'll go back. So now I will select with the region part. Okay, and select with region and quantity sold. So once I have select with the region and quantity sold, transform. Now if you see with this option, that is pivot column, we have to identify this option. Replace. Yeah, pivot. So in this one, the below option is showing here, this one. So pivot column we have to select. So now I'm selecting with pivot. So in pivot column, it will ask as the which columns I have to move. So by default, it will show as the quantity sold. Okay. So quantity sold, we have the columns date, product category, quantity sold. So quantity sold, we have to split the data. So click OK. So once I have selected with the quantity sold, so now it will say back north region, central region, and south region. Okay. So if I want to north to central region, south, unpivot, just select with unpivot columns. Again, it will convert to this one. If I want to these 2 categories, so again pivot. So just click on this pivot value, click OK. So this way we can apply with the pivoting and unpivoting. So just review the definition of pivoting is mainly pivoting is describes the process of turning distinct row values into columns is the pivot. And unpivoting describes the process of turning distinct columns into rows is the unpivoting. Next, we'll look into merge queries. So merging queries called as mainly uh, like simple definition called as so merging queries is mainly to combine the data. So like you can join the tables, or else we can say like merging the queries allows you to join the tables based on a common column, like a lookup in Excel. So uh, so merging is mainly like to add the columns to an existing table or query. Okay. So now for this merging queries, I will choose with the data set called as sales data 2022. So once I have select with this sales data, go to home. So after then I have to select with merge queries. So just find the merge queries, like merging the data. Here the option is So once we select with the home tab, here we have to select with this combine. So in the last two, combine tab is there. So once we select with the combine, here we have the option called as the merge queries and append queries. So select with merge queries. So we have the options here. Merge queries as new. I will go as now. I will merge queries as new called as the new table will create. So, but I'm not going to merge queries as new. I'll go with merge queries. So once I select with the merge queries, it will ask the data set name. So by default, we have selected as sales data 2022. So the data is selected. Now it will ask the second table name. So now I will go with the second table name called as the product lookup. Because why I am selecting with the product lookup called as, here we want the common key. So common key called as, so for example, in product lookup, I have the product key is there. In similarly, sales data 2022, I have the product key is available. So based on this product key, the both tables will merge. Okay, like we had to join. So join kind. So if you look into this join kind called as left outer join. So whatever the base based on the common key is to be matching. So this both based on the product key, all the columns will show as in the single table. Okay. So for example, if you look into this, the below note point is there, right? So this one, if you read this point, so this note point called as mainly the selection matches 29,481 of 29,481 rows from the first table. So in this data set and this data set is to be matching. Okay, how many number of rows? So once we have select with this one and click on OK. So now if you look into this, the product lookup, so the table is to be created here, not all the columns. So if you look into this, the table is to be extracted. So but here we have the option called as, here one arrow mark is there, product lookup. So if you click on this arrow mark, it will extract with the columns, or else it will we have to manually select with the columns. Now I'm selecting with this merge queries. So once I have select with the merge queries, so it will ask as to select the column names. I don't want all the columns. Now I will select as like product key, product name, and product color we have to select. Okay, click on OK. Now you will look into this three columns. So product lookup dot product key, product lookup dot product name, product lookup dot product color. So three columns are extracted. So we are fetching the data for three columns, right? So this is the option called as the merge queries. So basically, merge queries is mainly to join the tables based on a common column, like lookup. Now I will remove these steps. And next one is we'll go with append queries. So appending called as mainly like to combine the data or stacking the data. So appending is, so after one table, we will go with add with appending the data. Like appending the queries allows you to combine or stack the tables, sharing the exact same column structure and data types. Okay, so we'll look into this appending data. So, but appending data, I will go with the same column with the different files. So, for example, I have the data called as 2022 data, sales data. I have the same columns in sales data 2021, same columns with the data set sales data 2020. So for that, we'll use with this appending the data. Okay, so in that case, we will match the data, we will append the data 2022, 21, 22. Okay. So for this, I think this data is not required. I will remove this part. Now sales data 2022. So the structure also same. Now I will load the data about with 21. Sales data 2021. Open. Okay. So now rename the table name 2021. Now again we'll load the data about 2020. Okay. And this one also rename. Now we have the 2022, 21, and 2020. So three data sets I'm considering. Now I will apply with the append. So click on home and click on combine. Here I have the option called as the append queries. So click on append queries. So if I click on the append queries, we have the two options. As one is the append queries as new. So append queries as new called as it will create as the new table. So now I will go with the append queries as new. So it will ask as the three tables. So we have to select with the three tables. So append. So concatenate rows from two tables into a single table. So we have three tables, right? So I will click on three or more tables. So here I have the only one table is available. So I'll click on this sales data 2020 and 2021, 2022. So I have selected as three tables. Select OK. So once we have select this append, we have the option called as here append data. So this append one. So this one will rename to like sales data 2022, 2022. Okay. So now we'll check this data. If I select here, load more. See here, last data is 2022, and in between, see 2021 data. So 3 years data we have merged here. So okay. So this is the option called as the mainly appending queries, appending the data. But best case is here I will suggest as go with appending the files from a folder. So here we directly loaded with the data, right? So but best case we had to go with appending the data folder. So if you click on with folder, direct it will read with the folder, right? So for example, if you open with this data, in sales data, in this three tables are available: 2020, 2021, and 2022. So these three tables at a time we had to load. And one more twist also here. The note is mainly, for example, if I remove with the table, for example, sales data 2022, I will remove this data. See how it is the warning. So delete query, the query sales data 2022 cannot be deleted because it's being referenced by another query sales data 2022, 2022. Okay. Now I will remove all these steps and again I will go with show with the other option called as the this appending the files from folder. Okay. Now again I will go with new source, go to more and folder, select with the folder and connect and choose the path. So the path is browse. I'll go with where I have saved this path. Power BI drive. E, Power BI. Adventure raw data. Yeah, sales data. So once I select with the sales data, click on OK. So once it is done, then click OK and go with to transform the data. So here, if you look into this one, content, three files are loaded: 2020, 2021, 2022. Now I will go with transform data. So in this transform data, if you look into this, the three files are available. Binary files are 2020, 21, 2022. So the arrow mark is show here. Combine the files. If you click on this combine files, it will ask as the source name. Okay, just click on this icon. It is evaluating the query. Now it will show as the source files. So 2020, all these files are available. Click OK. See source name. So the source name we have the files called as the file name also available here. Okay. So if we not required this source name, I can remove this file, this column also. There is no issue. And we have the options. All the data is available. Okay. Now this one is not required. I will remove this part and then close and apply. Okay. So this is the appending query. Okay. So appending queries as appending queries files from folder. So best thing is we'll go with if you're appending the data, go with folder. Okay. So in this session we have covered as mainly what we have covered. First one, index columns created, conditional columns covered, grouping and aggregating, pivoting and unpivoting, merging queries, appending files from a folder. So these many concepts we have covered in this video. I think this video is a little bit long. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you. We'll meet the next video. We'll look into the creating a data model, the next video. So it's very most important and it's very interesting concept to create the data model. Thank you.